Hello everyone, this is the group 3 and we will going to report about homosexuality. But first, before we start, we are reminding you all that we mean no harm nor insult anyone here. We will only discuss based on what has been stated in the book. We do not mean to offend someone if the topic would be fair or sensitive to some of you. By the way, I am John Marcosante and I will discuss about the definition of homosexuality and the relevance of it in today's society. To start, homosexuality is the quality or characteristic of being sexually attracted solely to people of one's own sex, and also it is a romantic or sexual attraction or behavior between members of same sex. So based on the book, the definition of homosexuality is from the Greek word and Latin hybrid, with the first element derived from Greek homos, thus connoting sexual acts and affections between members of same sex, including lesbianism. Gay generally refers to male homosexuality, but may be used in broader sense to refer LGBT people. In the context of sexuality, lesbian only refers to female sexuality, and it is according to Semnis 2005. L in LGBT stand for lesbian. The word lesbian is for women in the relation to their sexuality identity or sexual behavior or associated with female homosexuality that is attracted to same sex. G stand for gays or men homosexuality. B is bisexual, which mean you are sexually and romantically attracted to people of more than one gender, or you are attracted to both male and female. And also lastly is the letter T or transgender. These people have a gender identity or gender expression that differs from the sex that they were assigned at birth. So let us go to sexual orientation. What is sexual orientation? Sexual orientation is the emotional, romantic, or sexual attraction that a person feels towards another person. There are several types of sexual orientation, and these are heterosexual, homosexual, and asexual, and bisexual. So heterosexual is attracted to opposite sex, or sometimes sila ning ginatawag nga straight. While homosexual, which is the focus of our discussion today, is they are romantically and physically attracted to same sex. Also, bisexual, we have bisexual. Just like what I've said earlier, these are people who are romantically and physically attracted to members of both sex. Lastly, we have asexual. These are people who may not be interested in sex, but they still feel emotionally close to other people. In connection with the homosexuality, LGBT community have flag and pride month that symbolizes who they are. The rainbow flag colors are routinely used as a show of LGBT identity and solidarity. The rainbow colors have become so widely recognized as a symbol of LGBT pride and identity. The flag consists of 6 stripes, and these are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. The flag is typically flown horizontally. LGBT individuals and allies use rainbow flags, an outward symbol of their identity or support. The rainbow flag is also commonly used as a general symbol of social equality and individuality. In addition to the rainbow, many other flags and symbols are used to communicate specific identities within LGBT community. So let us move on to the relevance of homosexuality in today's society. Around the world, human rights of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex people are violated daily. People are beaten, imprisoned, or killed by their own governments simply because of who they are. And also, there are still countries with sodomly laws that has punishment. LGBT people and who are perceived as such are routinely the victims of harassment, discrimination, and violence. But as time passes, there is a broader changes in society that driven some of the greater recognition of LGBT rights, such as more equitable relations between genders, the right revolution generally, and the greater respect for individual autonomy. Within our society, we can see the LGBT population gradually coming out. So people suddenly discovered that they had a gay brother or son or neighbor or close colleague, which started shaping public perception and reinforced the social changes. So they coming out because there is already a changes in laws and how homosexual treated before and now, and it seems that human rights for LGBT is in progress of becoming a positive one. So the relevance of the homosexuality in today's society is that it serves as one of the bases in which portrays that all humans are equal and that everyone shouldn't be judged and experience discrimination just because of their gender, status, race, and others. LGBT just wanted to be treated equal because all people, regardless of our sexual orientation or gender identity, we have the right to be equal under the law and the right to exercise the full range of human rights without exception. So the causes, treatment, and biblical perspective about homosexuality will be discussed by other members.
So, good day everyone. I am Brittany Pistuia and I will be reporting about the causes of homosexuality. There are six causes of homosexuality, but I will be reporting about the first three parts and the other three will be reported by Ms. Iremedjo. So, the first cause is the glandular disturbance. So, according to Mayer and Neustadt, 1972, they found a relationship between a homosexual behavior and the amount of sex hormones, androgen and estrogen in the bloods. So, when we talk about the estrogen, it refers to the sex hormones responsible for the development and regulation of female reproductive system and the secondary sex hormones. So, this hormone is for girls that can be found in mostly in girls. While the androgen are a group of hormones that plays a role in male traits and reproductive system. So the androgen, they are the one that plays the roles in the males. Sa halimbawa nito, magkaroon ng glandular disturbance or glandular imbalance sa isang batang lalaki. So, if mas marami yung estrogen niya kaysa kanyang androgen, which is yung estrogen is ito yung responsible sa development and regulation of female reproductive system and secondary sex characteristics. So, yung possibility nito is pwedeng maging gay yung isang batang lalaki at mas gawin niya yung gawin ng mga babae. And it goes the same way din sa mga batang babae or di kaya sa mga babae. Kung magkakaroon din sila ng glandular imbalance. So, mas madami yung androgen nila kaysa kanilang estrogen, which is yung androgen responsible siya sa hormones ng lalaki. So, mas gagawin nila yung gawin ng mga lalaki. But, sabi nga dito, not all homosexuals exhibit similar disturbance. Hindi naman lahat ng kaso is due to glandular disturbance. And because individuals have made changes from homosexuals to normal heterosexuals behavior without altering the glandular imbalance. So, hindi naman lahat ng case ganito yung is due to glandular disturbance. So let's proceed to the next cause, which is the genetic causes. According to German and Part 1993, homosexual orientation is partly genetic, o di kaya yung homosexual is namamana. So, halimbawa dito sa pamilya ninyo, may history na bakla or di kaya tumboy yung tito or tita nyo. So, there's a possibility mamana mo ito or di kaya ng mga anak mo at ng iba nyo pang kapamilya. So, but sabi nga dito, this view lacks conclusive evidence because psychologists say that every child has an inherent tendency towards homosexuality or heterosexuality, and either one is developed in the formation of his personality. So, yung cause na to is lack pa rin ng evidence kasi nga, develop yung formation ng personality So, next is ang dominant mother and the weak father na cause. So, according to this, if the mother has a strong masculine personality over the husband and son, and the son can no longer look up to his father to become a man, and at the same time, he may lose respect for his father and his own sex. So, halimbawa nito, sa isang pamamahay, kung ang ina ay mas may otoridad sa may ama. So, posibleng mangyari nito sa batang lalaki ay mas gagawin niyang modelo ang kanyang ina. At unti-unting hindi niya namamalayan ay ginagawa na niya ang mga gawing pambabae ng kanyang ina kaysa mga gawing lalaki ng kanyang ama kasi mas nililook up niya yung kanyang ina. So, that's all for my report. The next reporter is Miss Eremedyo.
Hello everybody, I am Gemma Dorothy Eremedyo and I will be continuing the topic about the causes of homosexuality. So for the fourth one is being an overindulgent mother. This means that it leads the boy to develop a strong attachment to his mother which he is unable to break as he grows older, and the boy feels that no girl can measure up to his mother and he does not develop heterosexual friendships and especially relationships. So dito pumapasok yung pagiging strong na bond ng between a mother and a son. So dito it means that he's trying to find an ideal woman pero he sees nga yung mother niya is yung ultimate na ideal woman kasi nga malakas yung bond niya, very madikit siya sa sa mother niya, since siguro nga sinusobrahan ng affection, which there is nothing wrong with that kasi nga when you deprive your child of affection, especially when they ask for it, it's very bad for their development as they grow older. Pero if you are overdoing it, thus being overindulgent as a parent, especially as a mother towards your son, pwede siya makadevelop ng homosexual behavior kasi nga nag-fail din siya maghanap ng woman in his life besides their mother kasi nga sobrang dikit siya sa mother niya. And there's nothing wrong with that, being affectionate with your son, but overdoing it may cause to them having to develop homosexual behavior. Pero you need to make them experience the environment around them and not just stick to you kasi nga they need to develop these friendships, their personality especially, and these personalities make up themselves as they grow older, and especially if they become a full functioning adult, which leads us to the fifth cause, which is being cruel or detached parents. This means that cruelty or detached hostile relationship of either mother or father may also result to homosexual behavior. The child was deprived of affection from the parents of the same sex would later in life crave for the affection from the one belonging to his or her sex. So dito pumapasok nga yung development as a child. It is very crucial talaga for a child to develop their personality, especially in the ages between being a toddler up to, I guess, being an adolescent teen. So very crucial talaga kasi they form the bonds, they form the friendship, the relationships, the experiences. So you need to show them affection. Like, you do not deprive them of affection, especially nga when they needed, as stated earlier, that there's nothing wrong, but do not overdo it. So ito naman is parang yung opposite ng first one, pero ito, it depends naman sa parent, whether mother siya, mother figure, or father talaga. So as they grow older, if you're still hostile to them, like, wag mo ispoil yung bata, ganyan, kasi masasanay sila sa'yo, which is true. Going back to the fourth cause, being overindulgent, pero being deprived of affection may have issues with your child na being detached to you, thus nag-crave sila ng affection from other people. Pwede naman ito from other causes like bad influence, mga friends nila na very different from yours sa environment nila sa bahay kasi nga nag-crave sila ng attention. But it also means that they crave attention from the parent, which kunwari man, for example, their father and the son, mag-search siya ang affection from a male then from the same sex as said, and vice versa then if daughter, and nagkulangan siya ng affection from their mother. And for the last cause, it is the sixth one, which is overt homosexuality. So this is developed under circumstances in which the individual has no access to the opposite sex. It also means that it is usually found in the military, prisons, and exclusive schools, and its occurrence demonstrates the ability to substitute a sexual object for another and the role of frustration in precipitating such substitution. So, it mostly happens to male, and pero there are instances wherein you are surrounded by the opposite sex, which are female. If you are a male, you're surrounded by female. You can also develop homosexual behavior kasi nga you're surrounded by mostly female and na-adapt mo yung personality nila. You're surrounded by them and naano mo yung mga mannerisms nila. Pero dito naman it talks about when you are deprived of female attention talaga. You're entirely avoided by female attention kasi nga it's either if you're in the military, in prisons, or in exclusive schools. In this case, mga seminaryo or mga all-boys school, dito talaga pumapasok yung pagiging deprived mo of female attention kasi nga dito sinasubstitute mo, you have the ability to substitute yung pagiging pagiging lalaki mo sa pagiging homosexual. Nag-develop yung pagiging homosexual mo kasi nga nag-crave ka ng attention from a female pero di mo mahanap, so you look for options, and yung options mo, which is yun nga, lalaki din. So dito nagde-develop yung pagiging homosexual mo, and this is also caused because yung environment mo talaga is mostly male, and dito pumapasok yung toxic masculinity, which is an instance in which you are pressured na maging lalaki talaga, maging very strong na ganyan, na gawin mo to, gawin mo yan, bawal ka maganito, bawal ka maganyan. So, dito pumapasok yung pressure, and thus nag-develop yung homosexual behavior mo kasi nga nape-pressure ka na dapat mo na maging maskulado ka, na maging brute ka, na all the things na in the case of physical appearance na nagpapakita ng pagiging manly. So, ito, nape-pressure ka. So, kasi nga puro lalaki yung nagsasurround sa'yo, nape-pressure ka sa mga standards nila na on how a man behaves. And kasi nga, na-deprive ka sa female of female attention, na-pressure ka, so, nag-lean on more ka sa pagiging sheltered mo, ay, yun, nagde-develop ang pagiging homosexual mo. So, ayun. Yun yung some of the causes of being a homosexual.
So, LGBTQ community has been under a lot of pressure. They have faced many discriminations, violence, and they got discriminated, and oftentimes they've got fired at their workplace due to their sexual orientation. That is just one of the injustices they are experiencing. Not until the Human Rights Council has aided them help against the discrimination and violence they are facing or experiencing. And one of the rights they're fighting for today is same-sex marriage. So what is same-sex marriage? It is also known as gay marriage, or the practice. It is a practice of marriage between same gender, or two males and two females. So they are demanding that they should be treated just like their counterparts, the heterosexuals. So they are demanding for the same privileges and same rights. And at present, there are 29 countries recorded in January 2021 that has legalized and recognized same-sex marriage. So, while in the Philippines today, the government still does not recognize same-sex marriage. Maybe because we are a Christian country, and 80% of the population of the Philippines are Roman Catholics. So let's look at the biblical perspective about same-sex marriage. So earlier, I said that God detests homosexual behaviors. So therefore, we will conclude that God would also detest same-sex marriage because it is not under God's will, and in fact it would be sinful. So the Bible mentioned several marriages, and we will look at the first marriage happened between Adam and Eve, and let me read to you Genesis 2 verse 24. So this explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. So marriages are meant to be a union between male and female, and some of the references are 1 Corinthians 7 verses 2 to 16 and Ephesians 5 verses 23 to 33. So the Bible clearly identifies marriage as between a man and a woman. Also, it is a lifetime union, and God has ordained marriage. It is also the fulfillment of God's blessings towards Adam and Eve when He said that they should fill the earth with children or people. So, same-sex marriage is not under the natural order or the original design of marriage. So therefore, we stand for truth, and the truth will set us free, and the truth has a name.